Hey there, everybody. Thanks for getting on here. I see a few people have joined up and glad you're here. We'll get right to it today. I'm so glad that we're kind of back at this on a weekly basis. I'm going to try to stick with Wednesdays. I told y'all I'd do 8 times and I'm going to do it. I do know April 12th, Wednesday, I can't do it, so I'll probably do Tuesday or Thursday that week. So welcome. We're going to talk Tony Rice today. We're going to remember Tony Rice. We are going to study his legendary phrasing and just have some fun together. Please ask questions, make comments. Let me know if you can't see my fingerboard or if I get off track somehow. Or if you disagree with any fingering, feel free to chime in too. We're just here to workshop together. I just love to learn from Tony, and I learn by sharing with you. It's fun for me. So I just played through the break a couple times. And what I'll do, just like we did last time, is show you all the chords so you can play the chords and then play through the break while you do the chords. On this Rice Brothers version from the self-titled Rice Brothers album, the chords are slightly different from the original version. So we'll just look at those real quick. We've got capo 2, and we're going to play G chord, 1 chord, and go to the 4, and walk down to the A minor, 2 minor, to the 5, back to the 1. Stay on the 1, G chord, 4 chord. See, walk to the A minor, to the 5, D, and back to the 1. So you guys jam along on those with me. Again, in case you didn't hear me, G, C, A minor, D, and G are the chords you're going to be playing. So I'm going to play the break nice and slow while you guys jam along on the chords, okay? And we'll just... Yeah. Cool. Any questions about those chords, y'all? I know they're slightly kind of not what you're used to. And this workshop is really just about the solo, which is not melody based. So we're just going to jump right into that rather than chit-chatting about the actual melody and the chords too much. However, it's very important to me that you guys are hearing the chords in your head as well as where you are in time when you're learning this solo and all solos. Because I've told y'all last time, some people have learned these solos kind of in a void, in a vacuum, you know, note for note, and they're not hearing where it lies over the chords. And when they go to play it with other people, it just doesn't lie where they thought it would over the chords. So let's start with that little pickup phrase. Even though the melody starts on da 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 da, starts on the 3rd, the melody does. He starts his solo leading us to the 1. He goes with his pickup notes starting on beat 2, ba 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 ba. Nice and simple. Kind of goes down the major pentatonic and back up. So G E D B D. E, G, and we're going to go, just like I told y'all last time, down, up for the 1 and 2 and. Our right hand is going to be playing down ups for the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So when it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Make sense? So, for those who don't, I'm trying to be as inclusive as possible. So let me know if I'm going too slowly for you. But the open G string is where we're going to start. We're going to go up on the 2nd fret, 4th string, down on the D, open D string, up on the 2nd fret 5th string, down on the open D, up on the 2nd fret 4th string, and then down on the G. So let's play that little pickup phrase real quick together a couple times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Cool. Any questions about that? I don't have any comments, so I don't even know if my Kaufman campers are here or who's here. We're gonna move to the first phrase after the downbeat where the G chord hits. Okay, so he's gonna go using that open G. He's gonna go. Okay, so interesting first note choice for the 1 chord. He's outlining a 4 chord, and sorry about my big grin here, but this is just something I really love about Tony, is the creativity and the kind of unexpected note choices. We're gonna walk on up like this. With our 3rd finger, we're gonna grab that dominant 7, the 3rd fret, 4th string, and slide up to the 5th fret with a downstroke and a ghost up as we slide. Down, ghost, and then a down on open G. Okay, now an up on the E, down on the G, up on the A, down on the C, and then with an upstroke we're going to slide on up to the 5th fret from the 3rd fret on the 2nd string and do a down ghost as we slide, and then up on the G, 1st string, 3rd fret. Hi, Alan. Alan, I know you're going to enjoy this. I am analyzing why in the heck Tony decided to outline a C chord over the 1 chord as we get started here on this solo. This is one reason I chose this solo. It's because it's such a weird entry. I've never seen a Tony Rice entry this way to a solo, and I feel like I've learned a lot of them. Probably not as many as you, Alan, or some other people on this planet, but I've definitely never seen him enter this way, and I have a couple little mini theories about it. Number 1, he's shooting from the hip. He's just relaxed. He's loose. He's just kind of playing what comes out, and it's all good. Number 2, I read in the Still Inside book that he planned out most of his breaks for recordings. So number 2, he actually thought about it and thought, this would be cool. What the hell? We'll just start on a 4 chord. Because what ends up happening is when we slide up, it's really just a 6-1 leading to the 1, which people do here all the time. So that's kind of my second theory, that it's very intentional of a genius master to do that. And either way, it's cool, because when he shoots from the hip, it's always cool and genius. It's just Tony. So let's go back to those first 2 phrases. We had the pickup phrase, which is right, and then after that we had okay. So all of that is over the 1 chord. 3rd phrase, unless anybody has questions, is still up here in this area where Tony would be, and most people go to kind of outline this the C triad shape. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. So I've got my 3rd finger on the 5th fret. By the way, 5th, as if the capo were the nut. 5th fret, 3rd string. Pinky underneath, 2nd string, 5th fret, and 1st finger is 3rd fret, 1st string. There's my C triad, and this is the area where most guitar players slide to when they're playing in C. So here we are with our first discussion today of flat 3 to 2. And you guys know I love to talk about this. I said this was 1, 3, 5. So here's my third on the second string. Half a step down, we've got the flat 3 of the 4 chord. So that's where this lick starts. All of that to say, you're visualizing these triad shapes when you're playing these licks, because you can do them anywhere, but you kind of just need to be able to see what's going on rather than just playing notes in a void, notes in a vacuum. So that's the next lick. As I said, we're going to use with an upstroke with our second finger on the 4th fret, 2nd string, pull off. So up goes down, up on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, 5th fret. Okay, so there he is in C, because as so often Tony does, he's actually leading our ear towards that 4 chord long before the 4 chord actually even hits. And that's another genius thing I love about Tony Rice solos. I tend to be way too lazy for that. I'm like, oh, well, the 4 chord's here, I'm gonna do it now. No, Tony's always ahead. He's always kind of jumping ahead to that next one, getting our ear ready for it. Okay, so after that upstroke on the 4th fret, goes down, pull off to the D, up on the, as I said, the 3rd string, 5th fret, and then down on the D, 3rd fret, 2nd string, up on the C again, the 3rd string, 5th fret, and then down on the A, 3rd string, 2nd fret, pull off, and then a down on the G. Okay, so the actual C chord lands during that lick, right here. That's where the C chord lands. That's where the 4 chord lands. Okay. Okay, next phrase. We're 3 phrases in. Everybody cool? Everybody good with all this? Okay, good. I'm getting a couple comments. Nobody's saying that I'm racing around too fast, and that's something that I actually really like to do, is go as slowly as possible for you all to grasp what I'm saying, because I'm analyzing and trying to teach theory somewhat at the same time as I go through these phrases, just so you can reuse these licks with other things. So here we are. That's the next phrase, okay? And that leads us to that 2 minor. So, I'll play that again just to get it. This is one of the most confusing phrases for people to hear on the beat, because C, goes back into that flat 3 pull-off stuff that we did a lot of last week and all of our previous solos with Tony. So from where we left off, we're going to do an A again with an up, and then a G, and then go straight into that pull-off. Upstroke on the flat 3 of the 4 chord. So here's our 4 chord. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1, 3rd, flat 3rd. We're going to pull off there with an upstroke. So up ghost, up ghost. See, we go straight to that upstroke from that open G. Okay? Just just like last time, 2 in a row. Up on the root, the C, the 5th string, 3rd fret. Here's this whole lick. And then we're going to go down on D, and then up on C again, and then down on D again, up on B, 5th string, 2nd fret, down on C. Okay, let's loop that lick a few times. It's very hard to hear it in time of how it's supposed to be. So we're going to start with, let's just start from the top, and then I'll loop that 4 chord when we get there. 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, a knot in my head, because that's where the 2 minor is going to hit, that A minor. Dun, 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 dun. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, so like I said, we're going to loop that starting from here. C. Do it again. 2, 3, 4. Now I'll move ahead. Thanks for any comments letting me know how this is going for you. Okay, so that's nice and easy. Boo, doo, 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 doo. He does that over that 2 minor. Down on the C, up on the D, down on the E, up on the C, and then down on the D. Okay, once again, starting from the top to get it oriented in our ear. 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3. See what Alan has to say about that. He nearly plays the same notes on the 5 as he did leading into the 5, just different octaves, positions. Sorry, meant the 4. Yep, agreed. Totally agreed. It's a lot of this flat 3 to 2. I harp on this a lot at my workshops and with my private students, that you can get way more mileage than you realize if you just kind of, you can start by going up G runs and C runs and D runs all over the neck, because you've got that flat 3, and then coming down the flat 3 to 2. Okay. That's the sound of flat 3 to 2. Flat 3, 2, 1, 6, 1. And then with C, or that's what Alan was talking about. Those sounds. All right, so we have ba da 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 da. That's where we ended. Okay. So the next little bit is going to be leading us to the 5. So we'll get there, but so let me get you all oriented from the top. So we have down on the C, up on the A, and then down on the G, up on the A, and then with our 3rd finger, we're going to go ahead and grab this F, slide up to the F sharp, so flat 3 to major 3rd of the 5 chord, and then the there's my root of the 5 chord. So you see, we talked about this last time, we're outlining this 5 shape. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing a shell of that when you do this lick. And then same shell of the 1 chord. Just same exact thing, 1 string lower. So instead of the 4th to the 2nd string, we're going to hit the 3rd string and the 1st string. Okay, so let's start that from the C again. So C, A, G, A, slide from the F to the F sharp, downstroke, goes up, down on the D, and then with an upstroke and with my with my 3rd finger right above the 2nd finger, I'm going to go ahead and grab this 3rd fret, 3rd string, and then grab the 1st fret, 1st string, 3rd fret. So the first one, down, down, up goes up. Get it? That is slightly tricky if you're not used to the down ups, but you've got to stay true to it, otherwise the kind of the internal metronome of the flat picking isn't going to kind of drive you forward on this solo. So again, down, up, down goes down, up goes up. Just talking right hand here, right pick strokes. Down, up, down goes down, up goes up. Okay, so that's actually going to lead us nicely to our next lick, because that one is so syncopated. It starts with that upstroke. Ba, 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 ba. So we have up with a ghost down afterwards. Up, ghost, up on the 6th fret, 2nd string, and then down on the D, the 3rd fret, 2nd string. And then we're going to slide with our pinky, not slide, excuse me, bend with our pinky on the 6th fret. Okay? Sorry, it's hard to do slow-mo like that. Okay, so now where are we? We are in minor pentatonic. So this is the G minor pentatonic, and that's kind of the shape that he's now kind of transferred over to, you know, being in. Don't know if he's thinking, probably not. It's just a bluesy and cool sound. However, if it helps to kind of get these things, you know, in a little bit of a grid for yourself. And this is one reason I love talking about Tony Rice solos and playing them, is they're never static in one formation or one scale or one triad or one pattern. It's always kind of like, oh, that's coming next. Oh, now he's going to do that. And this is an example. We were kind of in that, some of those C major licks to begin with, and it was all pretty, and here we are baking cookies, and then, oh, now we're going to switch over to this. So that's fun. And that's one reason, you know, Soulful Tony draws all of us in. I think we just love it. It's fun to play and it's fun to listen to. Okay, so let's start with this lick that was leading us to the 5 chord. Sorry, I think I'm going into another Tony Rice solo right at the moment. Let's do a refresher with some backdrop music. I think I might have gone into who knows what solo, but there's a lot of them that sound like this. Let's kind of do it with the music for a second. Okay, so actually I was doing the right thing. I was just doubting myself. That's the next lick there. So let's talk about it. What is this? It's the, we have 1, flat 3, 4, flat 5, 5, flat 7, 1. The minor pentatonic with the flat 5 is called the ... blues scale. And he's just gonna walk on down that. Just walk on down the scale. So the kind of downbeat feeling of it is put your first finger on D, and then up on the flat 5, which is the 6th fret, 3rd string, and then down on the 4, which is the 5th fret, 3rd string, up on the flat 3, which is 3rd fret, 3rd string, and then down on the root, the tonic, which is the 5th fret, 4th string. Okay. So next we're going to bar. So 3rd finger kind of goes down and grabs that 4 there. And then we're gonna do an upstroke on that when we barred it. I don't know if the glare of this lamp is annoying y'all, but and then we're gonna go down again on the tonic. Okay, so from that bar. Okay, so like I said, up on the 4, 5th fret, 3rd string, down on the G, and then we're going to slide up from the flat 3 to the 3, right here in the 3rd fret, 3rd string, and then slide on up to the 4th fret, and then hit the open G. And then I think he hits the 6 here. Might be the dominant 7. So this is where some of the things I think that's a dominant 7. Yeah, dominant 7. Okay, so I feel like I'm not explaining this lick very well. But this is a lick that's extremely common, and we're gonna do it in probably 5 other solos that I can think of. So down on the G, 5th fret, 4th string, up on the 3rd fret, the 5th fret, 3rd string, down on the tonic again, 5th fret, 4th string. And then we're going to, like I said, do an upstroke to slide from the flat 3 to 3. Right here, this B flat to B. Again, pretending the capo is the nut. So up on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, slide with your first finger, and then do a ghost down in your right hand as you slide, and then do an upstroke on your open G. And then on the dominant 7, this F natural, this 4th string, 3rd fret, we're going to do a down, pull off to the open D, and then a downstroke on the G. There we go. I walked you through it. I did it. It's important to me to be inclusive because I do teach some people who do not know note names and they do not know scale degrees. So when I say, oh, on the 1, on the flat 3, on the 3, their eyes glaze over and it goes over their head. Meantime, their ear is awesome and they're great musicians. They just haven't learned those things. So, separating musical intelligence from, having learned certain things to describe it, it's just 2 different things. So I think it's important to include everybody, and I'm sorry to those who already know those things and don't want to sit through which fret it's on, etc. But the beauty of it is you can listen to this as an audio lesson without even seeing my fingers because I'm describing where they're going. All right. Ba da 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 da. So there's our major pentatonic again. And then we get, I mean, we're so close to being done, which is fun. And I hope I'm not going too quickly this time because it seems like it's going kind of quickly. But so that's again similar to earlier on. Some of my students would call this filler. Maybe it is. It's just something that he's adding to get himself to that next 4-chord lick. So it's just the down on the open G, up on the A, and then down on the G again, and then up on the E, and then down on the G. So 3rd string, up on the 2nd fret, 3rd string, and then down or pull off on the open G, and then up on the E, with the 4th string, 2nd fret, and then down on the G. So now we are up to the 4 chord in the second half of the solo. So that's where we are. So, did you guys see how I just kind of hummed the solo along in my head? That's another thing that is super important to be able to do, even if you're like, my notes weren't spot on, because this is not the good range for me to sing. But it doesn't matter. It's just that you're hearing the phrasing in your head. So if you can sing this solo, then you basically got it down. It's then your ear is telling you what to do. It amazes me constantly that people want to be told where to place their fingers, but they don't hear it in their head. And it's worth spending the time to hear each phrase in your head. Even though I know it takes a lot of practice and a lot of time, but it's just kind of in the long run gonna be worth it. Okay, so there's our next 4 lick. It's another pull off from the flat 3 in the 4 shape. So picture the 4 shape. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. Here's our 3. Here's our flat 3 of the 4 chord. We're gonna do an up again, upstroke with our right hand, and we're gonna pull off from the 1st fret, 4th string. Okay, and let's check to make sure he does that like this. Which I think he does, but I don't want to lead you astray. It's 3 times this time. Cool. Okay, nice and easy. So we have up, ghost, up, ghost, up, ghost, up, ghost. Up on the C, down on the D, up on the C. Nice. That D is where the 4 chord hits. So that's the type of thing you're hearing as a backdrop in your head. You're hearing the chords roll along as you play the solo in your head. Of course, you've practiced it a million times, maybe with the recording, but when you're playing it in a vacuum like this, you want to be hearing where those chord changes hit. Because what if you're playing with a fiddle player or somebody who you can't really hear what the chords are, and you decided you wanted to play this solo? You have to be able to play it and still stay in the form. Okay. Okay, next we're going to kind of do a nice little outline of the major pentatonic with the flat 3 on the 4 chord. Coming down on the flat 7 to 6 like last week. Okay. Down on the D, walk on up that flat 3, that E flat, 1st fret, 4th string, upstroke, down on the E, 2nd fret, 4th string, up on the G, 3rd string, and then down on the A, that's your 6, and then up on the C, and that's the 2nd string, 1st fret. Okay, so I just did. Okay, next up we have that fun sound of the flat 7 of the 4 chord leading us to the 6 of the 4 chord, to the 5. Flat 7, 6, 5. So what ends up happening, and this is kind of a common movement when people are in the 4 chord, because it's a fun little movement that tricks your ear from the flat 7 of the 4 chord, and it's also the flat 3 to 2 of the 1 chord. So but in the 4. So it's just a nice movement, and people use it all the time. Got a lot of students who ask me, why the heck do we use a flat 7 on the 4? It's for things like this. It's tension, it's leading, and they ask this because, you know, a B flat doesn't really occur in the G scale. So it's like, doesn't seem to make sense, but it's kind of anything goes in bluegrass. Kind of mishmash of all scales mixed together, minor pentatonic, major, whatever goes, dominant scale. So for that, so we have it down on the 3rd fret, the 3rd string, 3rd finger, and with my right hand I'm going to do a downstroke, and I'm going to slide, and then as I slide I'll do an upstroke ghost with my right hand, slide a half step down to the 2nd fret 3rd string, and then play a down on the open G 3rd string, and then up on the E, which is the 2nd fret 4th string, and down on the open G. And that's going to bring us to our last and final lick, which if you worked on a solo we did last week, which was Thinking About You from Bluegrass Album Band, it's actually pretty much the same thing. So you're kind of, what, 25% there if you learned it from last week. We're going to visualize this. It's... what is it? There it is. Okay, so to start that one off, we're visualizing this 5 chord between, if this were the nut, between the 5th and the 7th frets. So, do, 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 do. Sorry, a little bit out of tune here. I'm gonna change my strings today, and with this funky weather in Nashville, it's not happy. Y'all aren't asking very many questions today or commenting, so I just hope that you're getting a little something out of this. So here's our 5 chord between the 5th and 7th frets. My 3rd finger is on the 3rd string, 7th fret, and then my pinky's directly underneath on the 2nd fret, and then my first finger is on the 5th fret, 1st string. Okay, so I'm visualizing this shape here as my 5 chord as I'm about to play this lick coming up. It's or so that's what he's seeing, because this is the area people are in when they're playing these 5 licks up here. They're seeing this shape. Okay, so he's playing actually an open E, which is, you know, a 9 of the 5 chord, and then going up on the 7th fret, which is the 6 of the 5 chord, and then we hit a chord tone, the 5th of the chord, with this A here, capo, you know, implying for the capo. So down on the open E, up on the 7th fret 1st string, the B, and then down on the A, and then up on the 6th fret 2nd string, and then down on the open E again. So that's twice in a row of that. So what is this 6th fret 2nd string? That would be, if the capo were the nut, that would be our F. What we're seeing is an F. F natural, which is the minor 3rd. So it's just the flat 3 again. And here we are back with our flat 3 to 2, because we are doing this. So flat 3, 2, right? Remember he was doing that down here in the 4 chord? So we're doing that here. Now why does Tony so often use the minor 3rd on 5 chords? It's a question I've thought about here and there, because he also uses the major 3rd, but he often uses that minor 3rd. It's just, for him, it just works. It's a cooler sound. It's a bluesier sound. It's interesting. It's cool. And this lick in particular, I have personal theories about why he does that, even though it sounds a little funky. One of my theories is that it comes from this typical lick. So people do that all the time over in the 4 chord. So maybe he's just like, hey, this is fun. I'll just do that here. So see what I mean? It's a funky little sound. I'm reading your comment, Eric, and it's like, don't get me started on this stuff. I could go all day wondering why Tony does what he does. But that is my personal theory, that he uses the muscle memory and just the feeling of this. But he does it up here. So he takes that same triad to the 5 chord and goes. So here we are. So he goes. That's his lick. My point is, I personally believe that perhaps it derived from some sort of form from this 4 chord. Anyway, so sorry about the, little aside there. We are going to go twice, and then we're going to move on up to this lick up here, and these between the 7th and the 10th frets again, as if this were the nut. The capo were the nut. So we're going to reach up to this, what would be the 10th fret, and do an upstroke. So this is slightly different from last week. So if you did study Thinking About You, there's just probably one note difference here on this one. This chromatic note here. So we're going to go up on the 10th fret, 1st string, down on the 8th fret, 1st string, up on the 7th fret, 1st string, down on the 10th, 2nd string, and then up on the 9th fret, 2nd string, down on the 8th. I realize I'm probably alienating some people who don't have a capo. If somebody is learning this, like on a mandolin or something, I'm sorry about that. But you can use your ear. And so what is that? What if we analyzed it, why is he even doing that? Because before, we talked about how he ended up here last week. That's where he ended up. And it was a 5-chord sound. So, what is that? To my ear, that's a... It's kind of going into a D minor pentatonic sound. Do you hear that? So there, that would be the flat 5 of the 5-chord, 4-chord, and then the flat 3, and then the root of the 5-chord. So take it or leave it. That's just how I kind of hear it and see it. And that's the beauty of the Tony stuff. It can get analyzed in different ways, and it doesn't even need to be analyzed. It can just be enjoyed for what it is, which is cool, creative, fun to hear, fun to play. Okay, so I already walked you through every single note up here. I did not go on from that. What I told you was the 2nd fret, 8th fret, 2nd string. We're going to do an upstroke on the 3rd string, 10th fret, and then a down on the 7th fret, 3rd string. Okay, everybody got that? Okay, and then we're going to do an up on the 10th fret, 4th string. And then this is the tricky part. If you haven't done a lot of this stuff before, we're going to bar with our pinky on that same fret, the 10th fret, do a down. So down here. Okay, so from the top of this 10th fret 1st string lick, that's probably the weirdest part of the lick sounding. And that's probably why people love it so much. It's not weird, it's just cool. It's creative. What's the next part? Okay. Now my 2nd finger goes to the tonic of the scale, which is the 8th fret 2nd string, and then my pinky goes back to the 10th fret 3rd string. Okay, so let's just get to where we are from the top of this 1st string, 10th fret. That's as far as we've gotten. So we're going to start with an upstroke on the 10th fret 1st string and just keep doing down ups from there. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay? We're so close to being done. Good job sticking with me. That's our next thing. And we did this last week. It's super simple to visualize. Pretend you're playing a D chord and move it up. Instead of the 2nd fret and 3rd fret, we're going to move it on to the 7th and 8th fret. And we're visualizing this, where this is a shape Tony often uses. The caged, some people call it the caged shape for C. And then So we're gonna do a sus. There's our 1, 1, 3, 5. We're gonna do a sus of that third. It's a pretty little lick. So that we're going to go down on the 8th fret, 1st string, and we're going to do that with a downstroke, and we're going to pull off, and then we do a ghost up as we pull off, and then 2nd string, 8th fret, and then 3rd string, upstroke on the 7th fret. So do that whole lick up to there. Okay, the next part is nice and simple. We're just going to get, this is something he commonly does, to get from this area down into the open strings. We're going to do a hammer on from the 8th fret. 2nd finger is going to, we'll do a downstroke with our right hand, and flat 3, 3, open G for 1. So down, 8th fret, 4th string, ghost up as we hammer on with our 3rd finger onto that major 3rd on the 9th fret, and then open G, 3rd string. So all together, using an upstroke on our 10th fret, 1st string, that high lick. Yeah, or you can slide. Either hammer on or slide. Okay, and then next one, we're just gonna go da 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 da, up, down on the dominant 7, and then a pull off to our open D, and then an open G. So all together. Little bit here, kind of a backwards G run and then a G run. So yay. Yeah. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do an upstroke on the 1st fret 5th string, and I'm gonna pull off. Up goes as I pull up on the tonic, the root of the chord, and then down on the open G. Up goes, up, down, and then upstroke on the flat 3 again, the 1st fret, 5th string, slide on up to the 2nd fret, and do a ghost down, and then up on the D, and then hit the E, the 2nd fret, 4th string, and then pull off, and then open G. Let's do this again. Up, down, pull off, down, up, ghost, up, down, pull off, down. Yay. Can't believe we just went through all that. Try it again. Nice. All right. Okay, so let's do some really slow run-throughs of this solo, and then you guys can practice along with them. Please let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out to me. Privately if you don't want to ask a question publicly. And let's see. Yeah, let's just do that. Let's do some nice, super slow versions here to practice with. This is slow. He alternates between 6 and dominant 7. So because all of his solos end on a G run, it's a 6. And it usually is. And I always doubt myself and think it's going to be a 7 this time. Alright. I'm going to do a faster version for y'all to practice with. And let me know if you want anything else. So that time was trying to throw some arm weight into it to show you guys the deal with some of Tony's tone and power is he's using his arm weight as part of the technique. And it doesn't come from like force, from hand force. And you can feel the difference on your own when you're warming up with right hand warm-ups or something. Just try to relax. Let your arm do some of the work. Let your arm get that tone. It's a beefier tone and a more natural feeling tone, both to listen to and to play. And it's all about the relaxation. Each time I play it, I think of something to talk about, and which is that one you can hear him swinging those notes. He's not a robot. He's not tugga 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 tugga. He is sometimes, but da 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 da. It's more of a swingy eighth note feeling on a lot of these. So here's one even faster. Not seeing any comments. I guess I'll just kind of keep plugging our way here. Try to get it to where you can practice with it at different speeds, which is a great thing to do. You'll learn something at every speed. See if I can think of anything else to talk about on this one. And our hour's pretty much up. I told you, I know some of you East Coasters are going to bed soon. Let me know if you like this, if you want me to keep doing it. I said I would do 8 in a row. I know learning 8 Tony solos in 8 weeks is a lot. It's a lot to take in. But at least I'll get them down, and you can come back to them when it's convenient for you and when you have time. This is just kind of when I have time. It's the school year, so I'm around. I'm not on the road as much, and I just thought that it would be fun to get together and just share what I've been thinking about with this stuff. It's fun for me, So that's why I'm doing it. So thanks for listening. And next week I was thinking of doing either How Mountain Girls Can Love or some move to C position with New River Train from his duet with Norman Blake. So if you have any thoughts on that, let me know. All right, fun. So have a good evening. Keep in touch with me. Let me know how you do. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for letting me indulge myself with my with my personal thoughts on all of this. I just enjoy it so much. Wow, Alan, you made it through all of that. Oh, I feel like I'm with you, Alan. You love making fun of me. And I know you didn't just make fun of me, but I know you secretly are making fun of me. So anyway, love you guys. Thank you for being here. Come back next week. I'll be here, like I said, every Wednesday for 8 in a row, except for April 12th. And on that one, I will be there probably Thursday. All right. Take care. Have a great week. Thanks again. Bye.